You, you're talking about what's the young buck's name? I just literally just forgot his name now.
Daniel
Dubois. Okay,
Dynamite Dubois.
so I've sparred Dubois before.
Wow.
Mm,
You're joking.
I've sparred Dubois before. It was a while ago. But one thing I said, and it's weird, when he fought Anthony Joshua, I was talking to, no, sorry, when he fought Joe Joyce, I was talking to a friend of mine. He's very into boxing, and he was like, "No, man, trust me, Dubois, man, da 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 da." And I said, "He's a quitter." And he's like, "No, what makes you say that?" I was like, "Because I've made him quit before."
Mm,
And I don't mean it in like he just got frustrated. And I just says that that's a very telling sign of your mind. He's very powerful, and it's not just him. There's a lot of guys that depend on power. If it doesn't go well, or they get hit too hard back, they struggle with it. It's almost like a bully tactic to it. Like I'm so used to bullying. When I get bullied, I don't know how to come out of it. Um, I think Dubois, is super powerful and and to be fair, his last fight, he showed me otherwise.
yeah.
So I think something is changing, which is good. And Anthony Joshua's last couple of fights, his attitude seems to be coming back, which is good. So weirdly enough, this is the perfect collision, perfect
Mm,
time for both of them. Um, because all the flaws that was seeing in both of them seem to be kind of coming too. But when Anthony Joshua's on and he has the right attitude, I'd say Anthony Joshua.
yeah.
Uh, Dubois, I'd say probably the more skillful of the two. Um, but I think Anthony Joshua's the smarter of the two.
Mhm. We had Johnny Fisher here 3 weeks ago. He's top 10 in the UK boxer.
Mm,
And he knocked his last opponent out in 36 seconds. He said he's sparred with Daniel
mm.
Dubois, and he said that's the hardest puncher I ever faced.
100% he's which is why I was had to be on my A game because if that guy touches me, it's a problem.
Mm,
Obviously, there's the weight disparity anyway,
big time.
but if that guy touches me, it's a problem.
Yes.
But which is why again he got frustrated because he wasn't able to land anything clean,
Hmm.
which he's just used to, just like I said, just having his way.
Yeah.
And then again, when he got with Joe Joyce, when everything that you're landing is not working, and then he's still coming forward, that I think I'm sorry, I don't believe there was anything wrong with his eye. I think he was just like defeated, like uh, and then obviously with Usyk, there's argument about where low
Was
blow,
it a low
blah
blow?
blah 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 blah,
It didn't
but
look like a low blow to
didn't
me.
it wasn't. I don't think it was a low blow. Um, but at the same time, Usyk is a very smart person,
Hmm.
smart fighter, and even still, regardless of whether it was or wasn't, he was still winning that fight and is gonna and beat you anyway. Uh, Pretty much on the same kind of thing. Again, I think sometimes he gets overwhelmed. If Anthony plays a very slow paced fight, he likes to be a bit more slow paced. If he plays a slow paced fight, it might maybe work against him if he has that like the aggressive attitude and starts keeps the pressure on him. I think it will work. It will work against Dubois because like I said, I've just seen him get frustrated too often and lose his head. But like I said, over the last couple of fights, he seems to have changed.
Hmm.
So it's a good fight. It's a good timer for it.
Yes. You got Tyson Fury versus Usyk times two. You know, the second fight's coming. I was a little bit shocked by that one, purely because I love Tyson Fury, big, long, tall, born natural fighter,
Mm.
and it felt like that Fury didn't use his size advantage to me as a non-fighter. Like he should have bullied him more and been all over him. How do you see the next fight playing out, or do you know anything inside?
Yeah, it was a weird one to watch. I'm a fan of both of them. Um, Big fan of both of them. I think Usyk again just a talented boxer, but so is Fury in his very awkward style, especially with his awkward size and length and so on and so forth. And it was a weird one because I literally felt the first Usyk was right to push the pace, but the first two rounds he felt like he was kind of just figuring things out, and then he just started to kind of like slowly just like come back, and then he dropped him, and I'm like, oh, this is game over. And then randomly Usyk, it's like he just took his foot off the pedal. And I up till now, I don't get what happened because he didn't look that and that tired. He just was like, I don't know, maybe playing with his food for a bit too long. And then Usyk started to come back. Usyk caught him with a couple of shots, then dropped him, and then it just swayed again. And rightfully so, Usyk won that fight. But I was just confused because if Fury had just continued what he was doing, I 100%. I think it was by round 4. I was like, Fury's got this. 100%. Fury's got it. Then he dropped him. It was around 3 or whatever he dropped him. I was like, yeah, Fury's got this. And it just looked like it was going to get worse and worse. But yeah, again, I've watched it a couple of times and I just don't get why he just randomly took his foot off the gas. If he decides to do the same thing and then continue pressing forward, then 100%, like he should win that.
Usyk is very good.
Beautiful. It's a southpaw as well.
Like, I know what you are now, and then he just goes for the full-on attack.
He knows how
to.
He figures you out. But anybody that kind of moves like that, you look at the other Ukrainian, one of my favorite boxers to watch right now is Vasyl Lomachenko.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Sometimes he absorbs pressure and he's just moving around. He's in his head movement and stuff, and he's figuring you out. He's just everything's just analyzing. And when he figures you out, those last like rounds, like 6 to 12 is a problem because he's just like bah, 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 bah. Everything you throw is like he's parrying, hitting you straight back with twos, and then slipping, and it's like trying to fight these flies.
No, bugging.
But it's Usyk has that ability. So again, if you don't try to kill him early and just keep that pressure on. So he doesn't have a chance to think. If you look at it, one of my teammates and my brother, Derek Chisora, fought him. That was a close fight, and we said, Derek, don't try to outbox this guy.
Yeah,
he's too good. You cannot outbox somebody that has this amount of rounds and has just been in it just on his amateur career alone, then his professional career. You can't outbox somebody like that, so don't try to. Oh, you can bully the hell out of somebody like that. You have to. It was all fitness and all power shots. It's all fitness. And if you looked at his last fight, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
It was fitness and power shots. There was times even I was biting my nails because I feel like he's powering down, and then he just came back again. And arguably that was a very close decision. And even they said, they're like, man, we was unsure. Like that was his team saying that after the fight. So, yeah, if Fury's going to do that, he can. Obviously, he's more talented by way of his boxing skill, and he could probably outbox him. But why? If you're the bigger guy, like you said, you're the bigger guy. You got the skill, but just put pressure. Keep that pressure on him. Work your fitness. Work your gas tank. Keep that pressure on him. For if it needs to go 12 rounds, but don't allow him the space to be able to figure things out.
Yeah.
And again, you should win that one.
Okay, so you got Fury to do it.
It's different. It just depends on what Fury turns out. Sometimes it's just it's always hard to tell, man.
Well, he's just come off a loss now, and that loss must have really affected him. And he looks bitter about it. He's like,
he's good.
I'm gonna come back.
We've never seen anybody. We've never seen him have to come back from something, so we don't know what Fury's going to turn up. But this is my point. You have to. If I'm tossing a coin, it's hard to put my money on Fury.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what's going to happen. Whereas Usyk's consistent.
Yeah.
And he's been consistent the whole career.
Yeah.
So if I had to, I'd probably put on Usyk. Like, if I'm being safe, I'd say Usyk. But again, it depends on what what Fury turns out. Because it could be a complete opposite. But if I'm forcing to put my money down, I'm saying AJ for the first one and Usyk for the second one.
And finally, what's your prediction? Mike Tyson against Jake Paul.
Is that even happening anymore?
I think it's happening in November. I believe
it's come back.
Yeah. Mike Tyson got some bloody blood pressure coming off an
That's
aeroplane,
what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm sorry, but it's a waste of. I love Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And I think any true combat fan, not even boxing fan, combat fan, loves Mike Tyson.
Ever met him?
No, I actually haven't. I had the privilege of meeting him yet. I actually want to go and do his podcast as well at some point. Hotbox.
Come on.
But yeah. It's I don't even care to comment on it. It's just a stupid fight. I don't. wanna. The idea of potentially of having this visual in my head of Mike Tyson lying on the floor with Jake Paul standing over him, I hate every second of that.